Hello, it's me again. Uh, my name is Christopher, if you do not know me. And today I'm going to be talking about technology. Um, like this past day, I've been doing a project about nuclear energy, and in my I'm on a task force, and I'm centering around regional case studies, and I'm basically researching, the newest nuclear plants that we have, which is very few, or nuclear reactors that we have. And then, later in the day, as I've, gone throughout that process, I started getting into, topics such as small nuclear reactors and all of that. And I also stumbled upon, just the demand for small nuclear reactors coming back to the technology sectors, or big tech, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, all the OpenAI companies like that. And it really made me think about really like reestablishing and like affirming my love for technology, that I've had, for a very long time, but I've, for the past few years, I've kind of fallen out of just a little bit, even though I still love it. And the reason why I want to keep loving technology and keep in the know and keep exploring it is because I want to be able to use it as a tool. So I can essentially keep up with society. And I don't mean just copy everything about society, or eat off of the technology, or not, or just like eat off other people in general. I mean, so I can apply who I am, and what I mean to this world in the best way possible, and in a way that, feels good to me. And yeah, that's something I just feel like it's very, very important to me. One thing that I do, I've been doing for a while now, but I've been doing it a lot more, with more intention, even more intention as of late, is how I write my essays and how I do my work, and how I maintain the integrity of my work while also using tools, from OpenAI and Google, to get the work done. And I go to my essays. And one thing that I do not allow myself to do, or let happen, I do not let AI write papers for me. Or if you want to be smart about it, open language models. I think it's what's called, open language models write papers for me. And the reason why I do not do that is I do not feel like there's a lot of integrity in that. And genuinely, I'd rather fail the assignment than allow an AI model to write it for me. And I think it's also really useful because, AI is all about algorithm and finding new ways to I would say, like, finding new ways to essentially, write code, and finding patterns in past code. I think that's the kind of a general premise around algorithms and, machine learning, and you can get into neural networks and all that shit too. But yeah, but I can kind of apply that I've been thinking about this today. I can kind of apply that to the way that I write and express myself, through other ways of art, other avenues of art, which I haven't really applied AI to that much. I mean, a little bit, but I think about things like, these AI models could not only look at code and intake code as data, but they can intake videos. They can intake, they can intake videos. They can intake audio. They can intake text. They can intake so many different forms of media. And they can find patterns in that media. And those patterns, allow the AI model to determine what's being seen, what's being heard, and all of that. And it's doing that off of being trained by other AI, by AI models, essentially. It's not only being trained off of, what these companies and startups have trained them to be, but it's also being trained off of even your own previous queries. And what I'm getting from that is that I can go back and it can find little patterns in what I'm doing. And then I can sit back and look at those patterns that is detailed out to me and see where I could improve, where I could level up, where I could, bring my work to a whole nother level. Because it's being trained off of all these other people's, AI models. And not to say that I'm necessarily wanting to copy other people, but with these AI models, I now have the opportunity to look at, what the rest of the world might do and what a computer imagines and make a decision on my part, rather than you do that with integrity. And the way I'm doing it with integrity is, obviously I'm making the decision on my part and not letting the model make the decision for me. I'm using it to assist me. Therefore, I'm not allowing the technology to get ahead of me. In my opinion, the only way technology is going to get ahead of us is if we let it do all of the work.